All right, in the meantime, we're going to talk about the Big Orange Index. It has grown for the 23rd straight quarter. First of all, for folks who may not know, what is the Big Orange Index? What are you looking at, and what does growth within that index mean?
Well, for the past 10 years, I've thrown about 3 dozen economic indicators into my spreadsheet and see what it says about Orange County. And yes, 23 straight quarters of increase is nothing to sneeze at. And clearly, while we have many clouds on the horizon, there's still some healthy business growth going on in town. But clearly, year over year, we had about 1% growth in this index, which is the slowest growth we've seen since we left the 2001-2002 national recession. So, the blame's on real estate, and clearly you're seeing it with this sort of slow overall growth. And I think people in most businesses in this town are feeling a little bit of it these days.
Is the housing market the dark cloud?
Oh, it clearly is, and I know it's sort of probably been overstated everywhere, including this place. But we're talking about weakness in the housing market that we clearly haven't seen since the last downturn, and not that I'm comparing this downturn to that one as of yet, but homes are not selling. People are not taking out mortgages. A lot of people make money off of that business. That's a negative for one. As Pete Weitzner talked about, clearly a weakness in employment. And clearly people don't feel wealthy when their house is at least flat in prices or perhaps down a little, and they're not going out and spending on those extra things. You've just seen some horrible numbers from car dealers this year. And I think that's basically because people feel a little bit poor. And if you don't need the new car, you probably don't get it because the old one probably drives okay, may not be as fashionable as you like.
Right, and let's talk a little bit more about the consumer. What is the consumer purchasing at this point, if anything?
Well, the consumer is still spending. I think it's one of those things, and if you're in business, it's one of those things that tends to hurt when they either go to a downscale retailer or shop a little bit less. Clearly the one saving grace at this point, or the great question you have to ask, is why the stock market's so strong. I mean, clearly the stock market reflects some of the same economic indicators that home buyers look at. So, clearly people are shopping. One of the things that people start worrying about is the fact that with this continued shopping spree and somewhat weak economy, we may start seeing some inflation in there. I know I go to the supermarket every so often and notice that those bargains that were there 2 or 3 years don't seem as bargain. Not that it's breaking the bank, but those pennies are adding up, and that may be yet another drag on the economy going forward. This is one of those points where you have some tough questions to ask yourself or at your business, and manage it right. Clearly, we're not going to see those easy money, easy profit days anytime soon.
And the big money for many Orange County cities, of course, is tourism. How's the tourism faring in this version of your index?
If there is a shining star, bright point, it has been the tourism business. John Wayne has had record traffic all this year. The hotels are as full as they've been in years, and they're getting some outstanding prices. The typical hotel in South County is going for almost $300 a night these days. Those are New York prices.
Yeah.
And it's been a great boom ever since Disney did its 50th, and it continues to play on. And it's clearly one of the things that you can smile about as long as you're not looking at your home price, I guess.
All right, John. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
Thanks for the time, bye.
All righty.